Chrissie Swan Show.
Happy Friday, fellas.
Hello, good afternoon.
So exciting. I do love a Friday. Especially some of our cities are looking forward to a long weekend.
Us and Adelaide here in Melbourne.
Yes, very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Also very exciting. Look at what's on my wrist. Do you like my new bracelet?
Yeah, it's a cuff. I like a cuff.
And it's got two balls on the end.
It does.
It looks like a Tiffany key ring.
Yeah.
But it isn't. It's a bracelet. Ask me how much it cost me.
How much did it cost?
Nothing.
Did you steal it?
I found it on the street.
Ooh.
I found it on the street and I picked it up. And as I was doing it, I thought, Jack would be horrified. I haven't sanitized it or anything.
Yeah, see, I would have given it a wipe down, but I'm not horrified because it's sick.
It's
a
a
cool
lovely
cuff.
thing, isn't
it's
it?
It's better than that junk you brought into our office, that brown bookcase that fell over you this morning.
How very dare you. It's very useful. I've seen you using it and it fills me with joy. Tell you what else fills me with joy? Miley Cyrus.
It's Miley Day.
It's Miley Day. The new album is out. Look, I haven't listened to it that much because, you know, I haven't been awake long enough. But my God, it could be a competitor for my Taylor Swift trilogy.
See, for me, it absolutely all over Taylor. It's a great album.
I love it. We're going to be doing a deep dive on that before the end of the show.
The Chrissie Swan Show. Say g'day.
Yes, heading into the weekend, what better time to say g'day to us, Christina? Come in, Spinner, are you there?
Hello, yes I am.
Hi, what are you doing this weekend? Is it fun?
I'm going out to Mornington with my kids and husband for ice cream and just to walk around.
What's your favourite flavour?
I like mango, like the sorbet,
Yes.
and my kids are obsessed with cookies and cream.
Yes, what kid isn't? Did your dad used to have rum and raisin? I can never find a good rum and raisin anymore.
Yes, both my parents were obsessed with rum and raisin.
Yes. Wonder where we could find one. Can you check for me, Christina, and call me back on Monday?
I sure will.
All right, love it. Have a great time and a Priceline voucher for you to sashay through the aisles with your pink basket, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much.
I know, the best prize ever. Jess, come in. What are you doing this weekend?
Hi, Chrissie. I actually just picked up my parents from the airport, and I think later on we are going to an escape room.
You're going to an escape room.
Yeah, they're so much fun.
God, I think everyone who's ever hosted their parents wishes that there was an escape room. Eventually it gets to that.
You should just let them go in there, Jess, then run out.
Sounds like a good plan.
I love it. Priceline voucher for you. Have a great weekend. And Shari, what are you doing this weekend in Perth?
Oh, hello. Tonight I am taking my partner on a date night at an after-home restaurant. On Saturday I am having a barbecue with friends, and Sunday going out with the girls, having a girls' day.
Oh, this sounds very busy. I'm tired already, Shari.
I know, so much on.
Go and grab yourself some face masks and put them on at Priceline. Just 20 minutes and you'll be fresh for every single thing you got planned for this weekend. There's a voucher on its way to you.
Thank you so
Have a great weekend. What are you doing this weekend, Jack?
I'm going to Super Saturday here in Melbourne at Flemington tomorrow, and then I've got a mate's birthday on Sunday. What about you?
Oh, and how are your serotonin levels going to be?
I'm going to be great.
Are
I'm
you?
always great.
Yeah, you are always great. You're a miracle. Having said that, you're 26.
Correct.
You should
correct.
be a miracle.
What about you?
I am, as usual, doing nothing. No, I've got Peg's birthday slumber party.
Oh, you've got the sleepover.
Tomorrow night. Yes, the thing that I said that I would never, ever do. She brought it up. She's like, I really want it, Mum. And it's just two people. And I just know better than to argue with her.
Yeah.
I know we would have had this to and fro for hours and she still would have got it because she's such a reasonable person. So that's what I'm doing Saturday night. Sunday, nothing. Monday, hopefully nothing.
Can you just watch The White Lotus already?
Look, I'll try.
You're
I'll
not
try.
going to. I
I've
can
got.
see it.
Yeah, I used to be so good at streaming. What's happened to me?
I know, you were the queen of it.
I know, because I sit down and then I find forensic files and I just watch one after the other.
You sicko.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
No one, especially women of a certain age, should ever feel invisible, disconnected or unimportant. Priceline Pharmacy celebrates you and all your uniqueness at every age, because at Priceline, it's always a festival of you.
Head in store or online at priceline.com.au.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
I recently sat down with the gorgeous guys from The Imperfects. And it's a podcast. It's my favourite podcast. Really, saved my bacon through lockdown.
I was going to bring this up later in the show.
Oh, were
because
you?
I knew you'd be too humble to, but I have never, I think, around a podcast had so many people that obviously know you and I are so close come up to me and talk about the podcast.
Really?
And I feel bad because every time I'm like, I've got to listen to it. I've got to listen to it. And then another day goes by and another day goes by.
Oh, it's very long.
But everyone has loved it.
Yeah, it has been, as you said, it's been a very humbling experience because I was very nervous to do it. But in there, I talk about it's not an obsession, that makes it sound temporary, my newfound joy of walking and what it means to me, and that it's all about untangling my brain, and I just function so much better mentally if I've walked.
Got to pound that pavement in the morning.
Got to pound it because there's a lot in my life, and I'm like the CEO of my life. So to work it all out, I need some time.
Yeah.
It's like a whip, but with myself.
Yeah.
and that's what I need. You've even noticed the difference, if I have walked before I get to work or if I have walked after. I mean, it's a marked difference. And I talk on the podcast about how there are so many conflicting messages and confusing messages, and it makes you not want to do anything because science says this and science says that and science says this. So what I did was I just walked for my brain, and that's what works for me. This headline drove me crazy. To live longer, afternoon exercise might be better, says study. Well, that comes off the back of a recent study that I read a headline for not a month ago saying if you don't exercise first thing on an empty stomach, there's no point in doing it. So which one of these? No wonder we're confused.
Correct.
And also, exercise isn't a punishment. My whole life, it was about punishing yourself. You've got to do this. You've got to fix what you look like. You've got to bend yourself into shape, and this is what you have to do, and this is how many steps you've got to get. Forget all that. Forget all the headlines. Forget only eat protein. Forget only eat this. Forget don't eat carbs. Forget all that.
Forget calorie deficit. I keep hearing that on
my
TikTok.
God.
I was like, ugh.
Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Just get out there and give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes and think, just realize what it does for your brain. It will change your life. This headline drives me crazy.
How nuts.
How nuts.
And if people do want to listen to that podcast, it's just called The Imperfects.
Yeah, it's The Imperfects, and it's Ryan Shelton, who's just a magical unicorn, always has been, and two of his very, incredibly smart and sensitive friends, Hugh and Josh Van Cuylenberg.
Beautiful.
Hugh Van Cuylenberg's behind the Resilience Project.
Yes.
So he's a really evolved human being, and it was very scary for me to do, but I really enjoyed it. And if you have listened to it, thank you for listening to it, and thank you for all your lovely feedback.
The Chrissie Swan Show. Chrissie's clickbait.
Back in the headlines again, old Harry and Meghan.
Oh.
Everything they do or don't do seems to get headlines. I read an interesting article yesterday. No, this morning it was. God, it feels like so long ago, but it was just this morning. About how they've now sort of gone through the news cycle. They've been, the headline act, the heroes, the villains, and now they're a punchline. And I thought, oof, that would hurt.
That would.
And it is true. South Park are taking them off.
Yeah.
I think Saturday Night Live have been working up some stuff. Yeah.
Do you know who I compare them to? The Kardashians, because I feel like they went through that whole cycle you just ran through too.
Yes.
But they came out on the other end and have stayed fine. For some reason, I can't see that happening to Meghan and Harry.
I feel like it will.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. I just think this is the process.
We're just in that phase still.
Absolutely, and they've just hit the punchline. This headline is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle say it's Archie and Lilibet's, that's the daughters, birthright to be called Prince and Princess. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I have no problem with that. They are a Prince and a Princess. The King is their grandfather. What's wrong with them being a Prince and a Princess?
Yeah, I agree.
Do people have a problem with that because
their parents chose to leave that? And because their dad, I guess people would be like, well, the dad, Harry chose to leave that life. Why should they get the option to still have that title? I don't agree with that, but I think that's where people are coming from.
Yeah, right. People have an opinion about everything, don't they?
My other thing is as well, did Meghan and Harry really need to release a statement about that though? Like, this isn't just hearsay. This is their people coming out and releasing a statement.
Yeah,
Who
true.
cares what people think?
It says this matter has been settled. Who cares what people think? That's the thing.
But they love the headlines. They have to keep doing it.
It does boil down to it, doesn't it? I just feel like if I was their advisor, I'd just be like, control the controllables. You've got a beautiful life. You've got potentially the best life anyone could ever have. You're in love. You've got 2 kids. You don't never have to worry about money. Just go and enjoy yourselves. This is not a rehearsal.
Go and have frinks with Portia and Ellen and
Yes, and don't try and control what people think about you because it doesn't matter. All right, here's a weekend recommendation. I've recommended it to you as the stream queen, self-proclaimed. The Murdoch prison debacle that's been going on. There's a Netflix documentary on it. I think it's just called The Murdoch Murders, something like that.
I'm 2 eps in. I'm loving it.
And you've got to spell it when you're searching in the search bar, Murdaugh. Watch it this weekend because it's all fresh news. I'm not going to give away too many spoilers. But something has happened in America, and it means I can't talk about this story because I've cancelled it out. If you haven't seen
If you haven't watched it, a lot of people have watched it. Quickly turn off now for 1 minute.
Yes, for 10 seconds. Okay, so he did it, right? And and he's been sentenced to 2 life sentences, and he's saying that he needs extra protection in jail because he's so famous.
Oh, please!
My God, don't stand in the wind, mate. Your tickets will fly off.
The Chrissie Swan Show. The Chrissie Swan Show.
It's an exciting day. I've been waiting for it for a while. Miley Cyrus's new album dropped this morning.
Endless Summer Vacation.
Thank God you texted me. I've been so looking forward to it, but I was having coffee with a friend, so I could only do one thing at one time. And it was only your text that alerted me. It's like, don't forget the album's live, and I went straight onto Spotify. I love it.
So do I.
Have you got a favourite?
Yes, already. Track 2, Jaded.
Yes, I loved that too immediately. Yes!
Like, immediate earworm. Like, I fell in love with it faster than I did Flowers.
And Flowers is track 1. So I actually started my listen of the album on track 2, and I just got so excited because I thought, if this is it,
we're in.
Well, I loved that, but then we went on to Rose-Coloured Lenses, which is my favourite off the album so far.
Really nice start.
Really nice start. But I was listening to it, I'm like, this reminds me so much of another song that I love from like the 80s, The Motels, Total Control. Have a listen. Have a listen to Miley first.
All right, this is Miley.
This is Miley. And then this is Motels.
Similar.
Very similar. And this is not dissing Miley. Not dissing her at all.
I want to say inspired by them.
I think so. Even this soft little bit at the beginning. Maybe even you. What a song. Do you know this song, Jack?
I don't.
You've got to get into it.
The Motels.
They never really had anything better than that. But once you've released that, I always say, who cares?
Yeah.
There's no problem in being a one-hit wonder if that's your one hit.
I agree. That's a tune. And you're going to listen to the album on your walk today, yeah?
Yeah. So when Taylor Swift's Midnights was released, I was equally excited. Probably more excited about Taylor than I was about Miley. But I am so excited about Miley because I'm a Miley stan. And what I did was I listened to a little bit of Midnights and it didn't grab me. And I thought, what I need is some time alone with Midnights. So I hit the pavement and I listened to it 4 times in its entirety back to back. Track, start again, track, 4 times. So I'm going to do that with this Miley album.
Well, you'll find when you get to the PM end, because you're now
Yes.
split into AM and PM,
Yes.
she gets real naughty and really explicit, like a lot of F-bombs and stuff. It's great.
Oh, God, I hope I'm at home with my top drawer at that stage. Anyway, very exciting stuff. Get onto Spotify, have a listen, get across it.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
I popped out of the studio, ask where I went.
Where'd you go, Swanee?
Queen of the Shortcut is back. Do you remember I used to be Queen of the Shortcut? I was
Yeah.
all about shortcuts, and I'd forgotten. I'm in the kitchen, right, making a cup of tea, which I have here in front of me, and I've popped a couple of Diet Cokes in the freezer
Oh,
because they're
thank
room
you.
temperature, so I've set my alarm.
Yes.
That should go off right in the middle of a break.
Great.
But I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea and I looked around. There was a big party here at Nova last night.
There
big
was.
launch party. And there's some stuff left over. Nothing very interesting, but there's lots of lollies and lots of balloon art. You know, they look like a giant hemorrhoid formation.
They do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
So I'm in there making a cup of tea, looking around going, This stuff would go well for Peggy's slumber party on Saturday night. So I have snaffled up bags of red and white lollies. The girls won't care. They won't know that they're Nova branded.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the balloons. I was going to say, mate, they're not fitting in your boot.
How very dare you? I'm putting them in the back seat. There's plenty of room there.
The balloons as well.
The balloons are going as well, and I'm going to put them all around. Like, look at the great effort that Mummy's gone for you.
Supermom.
Queen of the shortcut.
The Chrissie Swan Show.
I want to talk nicknames. I don't want the standard ones.
Yeah,
like
okay.
Shorty, or I want the smart ones.
We want to be surprised.
Yeah, ones that have got an explanation around it. When you first hear the nickname, a guy that you work with, you know, for example, his name's Jurassic Spark because he's the oldest electrician on the site.
I love it.
Jurassic Spark. Here's
And I feel
another
like
one.
work sites would be rife with them.
Absolutely.
That's where you get the gold.
Yes. Or like this one, I heard it on Fitzy and Whipper's show, Mirror, because what is it? Every time you ask him to do something, he says, "I'll look into it." Just makes me laugh.
I've got a mate. I don't know if the person that he talks about knows that they call him this, but it's seaweed, and I think that's a common one because it just floats around all day and smelly.
Really? Seaweed? I'd be so offended.
I know. Imagine if we had a secret nickname for each other behind each other's backs.
I know. I don't, by the way.
I don't
would
either.
Never dare.
But can you come up with one just for the purpose of the segment?
I mean, I call you my external hard drive because you've got all my secrets. What about this one? There's a guy at work with one leg shorter than the other, and the lads call him Sniper's Nightmare.
That's
because
brutal.
where do you? What? Hang on. What's his level?
The Chrissie Swan Show.
We're talking nicknames. I love this one. My mate used to work with a fella called Keith. He had a Keith. He had a missing eye, and everyone called him Keith. They're
so brutal. I love it.
They're so brutal, but they're so clever. Christy, what is your smart nickname?
I used to work with a woman who we secretly called Parsley.
Why Parsley?
Because she was in absolutely everything and contributed nothing.
Everybody knows of Parsley. That is so great. You're in the draw for first class and 50K, yeah. Christy. Well done. Hey, Ashley.
Hello.
Is this nickname your nickname?
Yes.
What is it?
My last name is Hudema, and when I was in high school, the boys would call me Hooters, and I also at the time had quite really big boobs, and they would call me, "Hey, Hooters." I was only a little girl. It was horrible.
This is seriously traumatizing. Jack's lost it. That's just bullying, Ashley.
That's just true.
Yeah, and at the start I was like, "What is that?" And then my mum, and I'm like, "Mum, the boys are calling me Hooters." And then she told me, explained it. I was like, "Oh."
Shame on those boys. Shame on those boys. Well, they'll be laughing on the other side of their face when you win first class and 50K, you and three mates. Yeah. Not those boys. Joe, what is your nickname? Hi, Jojo.
Hey, darling girl. I just say to everyone, the Chrissie, Swan and Jack are amazing. I absolutely love them. And my nickname is the Rodent.
Your nickname is the Rodent?
Yes, because I work for a waste company. It is ridiculously clean offices. Well, it was until I started. Unbeknownst to me that people were talking behind my back and going, "Oh, my God, there must be something around here," because we're noticing little food crumbs and we're noticing, bits of paper on people's desks because it looks like it's been nibbled and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were also, and then they must have been talking amongst themselves and saying, "Oh, we can hear noises in the walls." When I'm in the office, I can hear a tapping sound, And one of my staff members came in, sat beside me one day, and they saw me tapping my feet underneath the desk, and they were like, "That's bloody you." Sorry about swearing, I didn't mean that.
The Chrissie Swan Show. The Chrissie Swan Show. Chrissie's Clickbait.
Yes, today's Miley Day. The new album comes out. Like, if Flowers was not exciting enough, the rest of this album is good. You and I have had a crack. Jack, we've already got our favourites. I went to look up the new single is River. That's the one that we're going to be playing all weekend.
Yeah, we played it just before. It was great.
I went to look at the video and it says not allowed.
Why is that?
It's not premiering for another 10 minutes or so.
Ah, damn.
I know. So I'm going to be refreshing. Obviously, I need to see that.
For sure.
I need to see what hijinks she's up to. Also, as a companion piece to the album, there's a doco that's going live tomorrow on Disney Plus, featuring all sorts of interesting bits and bobs.
Yeah, there's like an interview. She's singing songs from the album. And the cool little fact I love is that they shot it at the LA house where she shot Flowers when she walked up the driveway, which is actually Sinatra's old house.
Oh, I love all this history.
How cool.
She's such a ripper. I just love Miley. I love she's doing her own thing, you know.
Is.
Makes her appear very strong.
I still love Liam, though. I feel bad for him.
I know. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Now, I want to talk about this breastfeeding mother and baby that was booted out of the Melbourne court because the judge was concerned the woman would be a distraction to the jury. This has got to stop. This is an absolute outrage.
It's pretty wild that in 2023 that judge can't stop and sort of self-censor thinking, hang on, is this the right decision?
That's right. What annoys me the most about these sorts of things is, 50 years ago, no one would think twice about it. Of course, buzzies were buzzies and hide them away, and you had to put shields over your babies and everything. It's like, these babies miraculously were fed. And nobody was allowed to see what happened. What annoys me is that in 2023, when there's a learning opportunity, when there's an opportunity for change, when someone doesn't take it, that irritates me. This would have been a really great opportunity for this judge to say, all right, I can see that there are some people that are quite distracted by this woman that's breastfeeding this child. This child is going to stay in the courtroom, so check yourself out. Mm-hmm. Sort yourself out. This human being is being fed by another human being in order to stay alive. Sort it out.
And the judge, just focus on your job.
If you've got a problem still with breastfeeding, the problem is with you.
Absolutely.
Not with the woman. Absolutely.
Chrissie's correspondence.
I just want to put it out there. We love letters from you. Any sort of communication is so wonderful. When you call us, when you write us a message, when you ask us a question, and the best way to do it is via Instagram. Slide into our DMs. Lord knows no one else is.
Is it a bit sick that I prefer it when they're mean?
I like them when they're mean
good.
too. I don't know what that says about our self-esteem. Probably that we're rock solid. That
True.
we don't care. Be as mean as you like. Send your messages to the Chrissie Swan Show on Instagram. Here we go. Now, this one came into the reception at Brisbane.
Okay.
Nova. It says, I just want to know the pasta machine name and brand that's been talked about on Chrissie's show, please. Look, full disclosure, before I was going to talk about this pasta machine again, which was recommended to me by a listener.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know how purist you are, but this machine is the bomb. I found one on sale. I bought it. So this is not sponsored. I paid cash for it. Credit, Pay for it later. Who cares? I didn't really want to talk about it again until I had some to give away to you. But Philips has been very slow on the uptake. So here it is, without fear or favour, and hashtag not sponsored. I bought a Philips pasta and noodle maker. Google it, shop around. They vary between sort of $400 and $260. Of course, I paid $260.
Never pay retail.
Never pay retail, baby. But that's the one you want, Philips pasta and noodle maker, utterly life-changing. Let's move on. Sabrina says, can Chrissie please share her big W. I thought it was, can Chrissie please share her big bum with us? Every day, Sabrina.
It's a whole other show, Sabrina.
Can Chrissie, maybe I should have an OnlyFans just about my bum. Can Chrissie please share her big W bum bag and what she puts in it? I did make an error. It's actually a Kmart bum bag. $6. It's a really good starter. She also wants to know what is in my bum bag, and I am happy to share.
Just heaps of pills.
How dare you? Are you saying I'm an Eshe?
Full Eshe, brah.
Okay, so I've got my Specsavers specs, the best. I've got my phone. I've got my keys. my pass to get into the building.
What's this lady's name?
A lip gloss, Sabrina.
I hate you for asking this question.
Sabrina, a little Priceline lipstick here. The colour stays suede ink. Really recommend it. It stays on like unbelievable. I'm just topping that up now.
I feel like I'm watching a QVC advertorial.
You know that's my future.
QVC? Yeah, you'd be really good at it.
Is that the same as the Home Shopping Network, HSN?
Yep.
It's happening. And then I've just got a little bit of pink pepper essential oil. So thank you for your message, Sabrina, and I hope you're still alive after how boring that was. People had some feedback off the back of our misheard lyrics segment on Wednesday. That is going to come back. I might save that till then.
Yeah, let's talk about that next week. But people weren't thrilled with one of our lyrics.
Mama Loves Wine says, who sings Bus Stop? Because we were like, a scrub is a guy that thinks his fun is also known as a bus stop. We've always said that. And we stand by it, Mama Loves Wine. Put the wine down.
Apparently everyone says Buster, but we were the only ones singing Bus Stop.
Yeah, Babs says, I've always sang it as Buster. That's the point of the segment. Anyway, why does Chrissie say every sing-along's a cracker? I also call them a corker. I also call them a ripper.
Or a banger. Or a rip snorter.
Or a rip snorter.
Maybe we need to do an adjective search on Google and find some new words to describe sing-alongs as.
I'm totally up for that.
Okay, let's do it.
And this one, I don't know whether it's like passag or smartass or what it is, but it says, I love your show and Jack has surprised me. He's good.
Maybe I started real shit.
Anyway, you haven't surprised me. I always knew that you were a superstar. Listen, I've got to.
You need to pack your stuff up, man.
I've turned off my microphone.
No, you haven't. You've just turned down your headphones.
I've got to pack up my stuff, get it back in the bum bag. I'm feeling nervous that it's all on the desk and not like on my body. Anyway, that went awfully long.
Now check this out.
The Chrissie Swan Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.